So, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another great session of the Indulge Food Fest. Today, we have it as one of my most favorite tea sommeliers in the country. In fact, she is one of the first tea sommeliers in the country. Snigdha Manchanda is the founder and a leading connoisseur of tea when it comes to a topic. Snigdha is the founder of Tea Trunk. Snikha, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little more about the brand and how you started. Please just take us through the journey.
Thanks so much. And yes, I studied tea professionally. And, I think while people understand what a wine sommelier does, a tea sommelier is rather new in terms of an introduction into the world of teas. So when I studied teas professionally, I trained under a Japanese tea master and I specialized in tea blending. And it all began because I grew up collecting teas. So, friends, family, whoever would travel well, I would ask them to bring back tea for me as a souvenir. And over a decade, I used to store these teas from China, Japan, Kenya, South Africa, and of course, India. And I stored them in my father's old trunk. It was my little treasure. And when I studied tea professionally, I returned to India and decided to name my company Tea Trunk as a tribute to where my love of tea began.
Oh, wow. I love the entire idea of collecting tea as a memory and building on it. Um, the entire idea of tea being so intrinsic to Indian culture, for that matter. Tea is such an important part of our day-to-day daily activities from the moment we wake up, and even when we're having like a really tiring or hectic day, tea is something we go to. It's very high in nutrition, it's excellent flavor. Just tell me something about the evolution of tea, if you may, like how it has metamorphosed from just a cup of tea to something a lot more.
Sure. In fact, very few people know that tea was originally prescribed only as a medicine. So it was
Oh,
really consumed and in as a medicinal tonic, specifically for ailments related to the stomach, sometimes related to the skin, and of course for various common cold and lethargy and fatigue. And even if we look back at the traditional Chinese medicine, tea was used as a tonic primarily, and it was through the Chinese monks. They were the first ones to popularize tea into daily consumption, and that's how tea progressed from being just a medicine prescribed in small quantities to something that we drink copious amounts of on a daily basis.
you're right. Like I am one of those people who drink copious amounts of tea in a day. I love my tea. I love it with milk. I love it just plain simple black. I love the different flavors you all have. I mean, for that matter, Tea Trunk has an excellent variety of trees. I mean, sorry, of teas. And I know that a lot of them are rooted in the fact that they are wellness related. They are related to kind of focusing on different aspects of good health. But it's not only that, the flavor also is exceptional. Uh, could you tell me some, like, how do you combine the two, health, nutrition, and flavor? Like, how is it, how do you marry the two?
Sure. So it's actually a misconception that something that is healthy should not be tasty, or that is like the rather more popular norm where people assume that, oh, because it's supposed to be healthy, it won't be tasty. And that's something that I very consciously decided to break with the Tea Trunk tea blends, is because the kind of ingredients that we choose, the quality of ingredients that we choose, it is possible to balance health as well as make a very delicious cup of tea. And we do that first by not adding any artificial flavors or colors to the teas. And I think that is very counterproductive. Like if you're consuming teas and green teas for health benefits, and then you're having your rose tea with an added pink color, it's kind of,
Yes,
absolutely
redundant.
unproductive way to be consuming tea. So essentially, the
Hmm.
first step is to start by using all natural ingredients. and even the quality of sourcing. So, at Tea Trunk, we source our teas and our botanicals, our flowers, our herbs, our spices, either from farmers or farmer cooperatives within India. So there's a much greater control over the authenticity of the ingredients. So we know where our cardamom is coming from. We know where our rose petals are coming from. So there's a certain element of, trust also that goes into making these beautiful blends. And when it comes to health, I feel, just look at the last 5 years, like green tea has progressed from being just a tea time beverage to a functional drink that people are actively consuming for like preventive healthcare.
So true, so true. And in fact, the way the way trends are moving forward, we're actually going backward. An ingredient like matcha, it was something which was very big back in the day, like in Asian countries. Of course, I mean not in India, but the fact that now matcha is becoming so prominent in so many different varieties, from matcha tea and matcha cakes and matcha delicious chocolates and desserts, etc. These ingredients, I mean, can you give me a little, your version of how ingredients, like, how age-old ingredients are now becoming more relevant and now they're becoming more trendy as such?
Yeah. So not just matcha, I'm looking at lavender buds or even rose petals. And, we also have a collection called Tea Trunk Botanicals, where you just, have just pure lavender buds or pure rose petals. And we're seeing a lot of bakers adopting these ingredients and using lavender in interesting ways to come up with cookies, cakes, tea cakes. And it's also happening with matcha. Matcha is being used in ice creams, puddings. We've seen them, of course, in cakes and croissants and donuts. And I think the list is endless. And I love seeing how people use our matcha and our botanicals in different creations. And, our Instagram is full of recipes from our tea tribe of interesting things they've done with it.
Oh, lovely. I must check that out, in fact. Snigdha, I also wanted to know a little bit more about exotics. There's a lot of exotic varieties that are available right now. How do we make it more mainstream? How can we make those flavors and how can we make those profiles more mainstream in terms of, get people to kind of really taste and sample and appreciate these kind of things?
So also, Avril, exotic has changed. The meaning of exotic maybe 5 years ago was like, let's say a passion fruit was exotic, or an interesting elderflower would be exotic. But today, even with Tea Trunk in our tea tribe, we're seeing that people find our marigold tea to be exotic. We're seeing customers who find our tea with bale fruit to be exotic. And I think that definition has largely changed over the last 5 years, where people are rediscovering native Indian ingredients and, trusting the credibility and authenticity of our own local produce rather than, thinking of just the imported ones as being exotic. So we have a tea which has marigold petals and lemongrass with green tea.
Wow.
And it's just sublime. And marigold is a flower we see so commonly around us at weddings, at religious festivals. And we don't stop to think whether marigold could be delicious, or does marigold have any health benefits. And when I started looking into the marigold flower, I found that this flower belongs to the calendula family. And calendula, as we know, has a lot of benefits, especially for your skin. And it has this very soothing property for your digestive system. So this little marigold flower that we take for granted all year round actually is a very magical flower when it comes to your gut health and your skin health. So I think today exotic has become about rediscovering our own authentic native ingredients within India.
So true, so true. In fact, I was just thinking about it. Like, what is your favorite? Like, you come up with so much of tea. I mean, you've drank so much of tea all your life. What is your favorite? What is your favorite flavor?
I have to be honest, my favorite keeps changing with the season. And in fact, I encourage everyone to consume tea with the seasons, in harmony with the seasons. So, say for example, like we're on the brink of summer, so I want to drink something tangy and citrus. So, I
Mm.
really am currently enjoying my hibiscus green tea. Whereas, just a couple of weeks ago, when there was still a slight chill in the air, I was really enjoying my saffron kava and my rose oolong. So I think with different seasons, there's a different kind of flavor that calls out to me. And for summer, we've got a mango mint, which is just real mango,
Oh, wow.
refreshing mint. So, it's just very indulgent tea. And we try to do more of the summer berries and the tropical fruits and more citrus teas during the summer, so that people can also enjoy them as iced teas. Because although iced teas or home brewing iced teas is not very popular in India, but it is very easy to do that. And as we can see, cold brewed coffee is becoming popular these days, and we see that trend being adopted for cold brewed iced teas as well. So a lot of our tea tribe has been home brewing iced teas and posting recipes of it.
I like what you said about the seasonal bit actually, because it's so true. Because I might like a really nice, as I said, I like my black tea and I like my milk tea. But during winters, I like a more milkier tea, and during summers, I like something a little more watered down, etc. And that is something very interesting also. I wanted to know one thing, Snigdha. According to you, is tea something which any age group can consume, starting from young kids and going up to a little more senior people?
Absolutely. Like I shared earlier, tea was being consumed purely as a tonic earlier. So it's a great tonic for all age groups, even for children, if it is consumed in small quantities. Right. So, specifically, when I look at our botanicals range, which is completely caffeine free,
Oh,
those are great for kids, and that's a great way to introduce kids to tea because it's caffeine free. And the botanical is also very delicious by itself. So say for example, we've got hibiscus, which is just pure hibiscus flowers, or chamomile, actually chamomile flowers, which we source from Uttarakhand within India. Chamomile is given in very small quantities to even infants who are having trouble sleeping at night, and who are irritable
oh,
because they're teething. So
yeah.
there's been if I look at the folk culture of not just within India, even European countries, tea, or I would say tisanes, or these caffeine free botanicals have been a very integral part of the home wellness kit. So just like everyone has these home cures or these
Yeah.
natural cures that we do at home, they are a very integral part. Like like I remember, like if I have an upset stomach, my mom as a child would just boil some mint leaves and strain
Yeah.
it in a cup and just squeeze a bit of lemon in it. So I think these are just different tea recipes, if you look at it, that we've grown up consuming, and now we're just having a very elevated version of it with different botanicals and ingredients.
That's really nice to hear, because my little one, my 3-year-old toddler, he loves tea. He loves to start his day with a cup of tea, which is not a lot, as you said. So I will definitely be checking out the botanical range that you mentioned, because I
For a
think
3-year-old, I would really recommend chamomile for a 3-year-old because it's very the
yeah,
flavor of a chamomile has a very natural honey taste, so it's very sweet and mellow. So we've also seen that kids really like that. It's very
yeah,
easy
okay.
to sip.
Oh, that's really nice. Okay, okay. And Snigdha, before I let you go, I just wanted to tell you, I mean, you have this wonderful skin, like it's just glowing. Is it because of tea?
Thank you so much. And yes, of course, tea has a lot of health benefits. In fact, there's one tea that I specifically recommend for great skin health is rose oolong. And we know that rose for centuries has been a part of beauty treatments and beauty therapies. And that's one of my favorites that I've been drinking for almost 7 years now.
The secret.
Thanks. And tea being rich in antioxidants, it really helps control the free radicals in your body and prevents aging. So, when you're consuming tea over a long period of time in a sustained way, it definitely has a lot of health benefits.
Okay. So sorry. I know I said that I'm going to let you go, but I also want to ask you very quickly about, nowadays a lot of our master chef, or rather a lot of gourmet cuisines are introducing tea to different dishes.
Yeah.
If it's not like a smoked tea cake, or something about like a smoked chicken curry with tea flavor in it. Can you just tell me about that, like the infusion of tea in gourmet food in the main course itself?
I think the superhero ingredient among teas, I would say, is the blue pea flower. The butterfly blue pea flower, which actually makes a blue color drink when it's brewed. And then when you squeeze a bit of lemon to it, it changes color and turns into purple. So we've seen that because of the color, and it's a natural color, it's a completely 100% natural color. So we've seen a lot of chefs experiment with that and make like a blue pea flour rice, fried rice, or even use them, for adding color to their dim sum wrappers, or making a panna cotta with the blue panna cotta. So I think we've seen some very interesting, not just food, I would even say cocktails. Like I think mixologists have been really exploiting the blue pea flour and coming up with some very creative recipes. So I think blue pea is definitely a superhero. And if I talk about, if I had to choose between matcha and blue pea, I would say in India, matcha is still an acquired taste, right? Matcha is also very leafy, grassy, and very intense for people who are just getting used to drinking green tea. So the blue pea flower actually is a more easier flavor to like. It's much more subtle on your palate. So we've seen that there've been some really great creative recipes around blue pea flowers.
Amazing. Snigdha, I must be honest, some of the ingredients that you've spoken about through our conversation right now sound so whimsical and sound like such forest creatures in a sense, like the blue pea flower. It sounds so beautiful. I will definitely be checking them out because there's something so beautiful about the way it sounds, and I'm pretty certain that incorporating it into our diet will have a lot of benefits in the long run as well. So thank you so much for those lovely little words and those names.
Thanks for having me. I hope you enjoy your teas and happy sipping.
Thank you, Snigdha. Thank you so much.